top 5 all-time middleweights. He spoke to our own Mark Raimondi. Here's what he had to say.
Top 5 middleweights for the last 10 years. I don't know. I maybe have to go.
I'm putting you on the spot here.
Yeah, maybe Anderson 1, maybe Izzy 2, Whittaker 3, Romero maybe a 4, and then a 5. I don't know. May have to put myself in there. You know?
Yeah, do it. Why not?
Yeah.
The UFC middleweight division. 185 pounds, some of the most technically gifted, most entertaining, controversial fighters the sport has ever produced. You've got a champion who pulled off one of the biggest upsets in UFC history. You've got a man who held 2 belts simultaneously. You've got brawlers, strikers, grapplers. Then you've got the man at number 1, who held a belt longer than any UFC champion in history. Today I'm ranking the top 5 middleweights of all time in the UFC. My list, my reasoning. Drop your disagreements in the comments. Let's get to it. Number 5, the man who did the impossible, Chris Weidman. Here's the thing about Weidman that gets overlooked. He didn't just beat Anderson Silva, he beat him twice. The first time, Silva was playing games with Weidman and knocked him out cold in round 2. The rematch, Weidman dropped him again in the first round before the leg break ended the fight.
When Chris told me he was going to fight, it really wasn't like, I'm going to fight. It was just obvious.
I had mixed emotions for sure. I don't want him to be hurt anymore. At the same time, to go through all that and still be so passionate about something, I feel like is a blessing.
There's lots of things that make these fighters very unique human beings. Very few people can do what they do. They're wired differently than all other human beings are. These people can't sit in bumper-to-bumper traffic every day and go to a 9-to-5 job and live the way that we live.
No one can ever take away what this man has accomplished. But the visual of that broken leg was just not the way Chris Weidman's career was going to end.
Surprising people, baby. You don't know yet. You'll see this one day.
Weidman came in with a game plan and executed it flawlessly against the man that everyone considered unbeatable. Elite wrestling, smart striking, and IQ for a fight that was ahead of his time. The injuries are the only reason why Weidman isn't high on this list. At his peak, he was as complete as a middleweight we'd ever seen. The man who ended the greatest reign in UFC history belongs in the top 5. Number 4. The most underrated middleweight champion of the modern era, Robert Whittaker.
Probably a good idea, man.
But then you look at Whittaker, who's at 85. He's not huge. He's stocky, but he's not like huge.
He's like the perfect size, Whittaker, because he still can knock out anybody, but he's got awesome cardio and pace.
Strong too.
He's strong. I mean, he's not as strong as Yoel Romero, but he's strong enough to hold him off. No one is.
Who is?
No one is.
Guy's a
You got to
freak.
get that Cuban gene pool to get that. There's,
dog.
you know what I'm saying? Like there's certain gene pools, like that fucking mountain from Game of Thrones. There's some gene pools out there, man.
Well, yeah, and then when he's throwing steroids in that pool, you get a freak.
Oh, you do throw.
Did you see he
steroids in that
admitted
pool,
to
too.
it?
Of course he did. Of course he did.
Yeah.
How? Yeah.
He was like, yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
And then when they kept asking about it, they go, are you currently taking it? He goes, listen, I don't really want to talk about this. It's like, yeah, no, of course I am.
Why are they asking questions like that?
I know, it's the strongest man contest.
Whittaker became the first Australian to win a UFC title, then went on to have one of the most impressive back-to-back title performances the division has ever seen. He beat Yoel Romero twice in 2 of the most brutal, grueling wars the middleweight scene has ever produced. Romero is arguably the most physically terrifying fighter in the division, and Whittaker went to war with him 2 nights in a row and came out champions both times. What made Whittaker's resume even more remarkable is the adversity he fought through. He was dealing with a hernia, a broken hand going into his fights, and still found ways to win. This man is built differently. Number 3, the last stylebender, Israel Adesanya. Adesanya came into the UFC with some of the most polished striking anyone had ever seen in a middleweight division. Long, technical, creative. He moved like nobody else in the division did, and he made elite fighters look ordinary.
Interim nor the undisputed. Now you got it all.
I'm the double interim champ.
You got it. Why say double? You keep saying that. Double interim.
Double interim. I don't know, because
Robert Whittaker's the champ.
Yeah, he was.
You knocked him out. You're the champ.
Because when I was there, you know, even my last fight, I feel like it's my first title defense, to be honest. Because I was waiting for something to change. I was waiting for that feeling that I had in Atlanta, but it never came. And within 3 days, I felt like I just defended the belt. Because technically, I was the champ as well. I was the champ. And if he had beat me, he would have got one of those rubies you put on this. So I'm looking for my ruby as well.
They get a ruby?
Yeah, like that's the thing. You don't get. You know how I used to get a new belt?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't get a new belt anymore. So what they do is you send this off. This isn't actually my one. I've sent it off.
This isn't yours?
Yeah, but
you sent yours already.
I sent. You take this plaque off. This plaque on the side, and then you send it off. Then they put a ruby and send it back to you.
They put a ruby in the plaque?
Yeah. So you collect like the Infinity Stones or whatever.
Oh,
yeah, so I got the Soul Stone.
Shit.
He became champion by stopping Robert Whittaker in the second round at UFC 243, a fight where he was calm, peaceful, precise, and utterly dominant. And then he defended that title against Paulo Costa, Marvin Vettori, Robert Whittaker, and Jared Canolia. The numbers speak for themselves. Multiple title defenses, the most accurate striker in the middleweight division, the man who made the hardest thing in combat sports. Winning UFC title fights looked almost routine. He lost the belt twice, to Alex Pereira and Sean Strickland, in results that shocked the MMA world both times. But even accounting for those losses, what Adesanya built in the middleweight division was extraordinary. Number 2, and yes, I know this will get some of you talking, Luke Rockhold. Hear me out. Rockhold might be the most physically gifted middleweight in UFC history. 6'3", reach for days. Kickboxing that was technically beautiful, and some of the best jiu-jitsu the division has ever seen. When Rockhold was firing on all cylinders, he was genuinely frightening to watch. He dominated Lyoto Machida. He stopped Jacare Souza. He destroyed Chris Weidman, the man who ended Anderson Silva's dynasty. His title defense against Michael Bisping was going almost perfectly until a short left hand changed everything. And that's the story of Rockhold's career at middleweight. But judge him on what he produced in the cage, the level he performed at, and the quality of opponents he beat. And Rockhold belongs right here at number 2, a physically gifted, technically elite middleweight who on his best nights was better than most people.
Anderson was the man!
Anderson Silva. We honestly need to start talking again about this guy as the GOAT.
You would watch him and just like put your hands to your head and go, geez.
Anderson Silva might actually be the GOAT of combat sports.
Oh no! He hurt his leg! And it's all over!
Shame on him, how he calls himself a martial artist and takes performance-enhancing drugs.
Anderson is an idol of mine. Is that how long you want to fight? Well into your 40s?
Yeah.
No 46-year-old should be fighting. I'll never let him fight here again.
Number 1, the Spider, Anderson Silva. Let me give you the headline. Anderson Silva held the UFC middleweight belt for 2,457 days. That is not just the longest middleweight reign in UFC history, that is the longest title reign of any champion in the history of the UFC, any weight class, ever. He made 10 consecutive title defenses. 10. He went on a 16-fight win streak inside the UFC. He is the greatest finisher in a middleweight title fight history, stopping 9 of his opponents. But the numbers only tell half the story. The way Anderson Silva finished people was unlike anything the sport had ever seen. The front kick knockout of Vitor Belfort, the spinning kick elbow of Forrest Griffin, the triangle choke comeback against Chael Sonnen. Silva made world-class fighters look slow. He made elite strikers look like beginners. And he moved with a fluidity and a creativity that the sport had never seen before. So there's the list. Tell me below who is your greatest middleweight of all time. And if you enjoyed this one, smash the like and subscribe button. See you soon.